And from Idaho, Mr. Fulcher, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'll just right out of the chute agree with my colleague from New York. We need to get it together on the border where it starts. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for doing this today, for your leadership on this. Just for the public record, point out that it's a Republican chair of Natural Resources that is the one bringing this forward. I'm going to guess that the mayor of New York, Mr. Adams, wasn't thinking that Chairman Westerman was going to be his ally within the last year, but here we are. So thank you for your leadership, Mr. Chairman. Whether we like it or not, we are in a war, and we're in a war on the southern border with the cartels. I'm from Idaho, not exactly a border state. Southern border anyway. We have a northern border. But in the state of Idaho, for the first time in our state's history, fentanyl convictions have surpassed convictions related to methamphetamine. I don't have the numbers in front of me for fentanyl-related deaths, but it's off the charts, comparatively speaking. Last year, local police in Idaho, in the central part of the state, small town, recovered 30,000 fentanyl pills from one person. And that's in central Idaho. It's a long way from the southern border, but that's where they came from. Not only is the fentanyl epidemic impacting cities across the country, but it's killing our next generation. So, but this is not a priority for this administration. And Ms. Williams, I was looking at your testimony and listening to you, and welcome to our world. The administration is from your party. This is what we're struggling with. For the month of September, we're about to break an all-time record of apprehensions on the southern border, and we wonder why this is a problem. Mrs. Arreola, in your testimony, you spoke out against using Floyd Bennett Field as a shelter for migrants. Not only does it violate your sovereignty, but it certainly, in my opinion, it placates the problem we have on the southern border. How many constituents do you represent in New York, about?
Just shy of 170,000 constituents in my district.
So, 170,000. This month alone, we're looking at approximately 210,000 apprehensions on the southern border. Just this month. And that's just apprehensions. Compared to the population of your constituency, that's a huge number of people. So, as a New York City Council member, and I apologize for not being here on the front end of your testimony, but have you heard some significant pushback using Floyd Bennett Field from your constituency?
Oh, yes, we are. And just to speak to the work authorization and the giving any other type of alternatives, we have done that. All city council members were asked to give alternatives, and alternatives were given. And I do have shelters within my district that we work well with. We're hearing from our constituents that we only have one police force on the Brooklyn side, the other is the 63rd precinct, on the Queens side is the 100th precinct. Each are down in numbers. We have no more than 4 cars in patrol of the entire command at any given time on the Queens side. They could never get over to Floyd Bennett Field and patrol that area as well. Fire department, if you look, we have the mayor put out his management report, and response times for both the NYPD and the FDNY are significantly higher. So now you're thinking about having FDNY then cover Floyd Bennett Field, which has fire hydrants that are not all operational, but are currently being checked.
So, Ms. Arreola, just because I'm just about out of time, I'm just going to, from your comments, I'm going to make the assumption that your constituents agree that we have a problem
Yes.
on our southern border.
Yes,
And they've probably lost their sense of humor on accommodating more migrants until we deal with that problem. Is that correct?
that is absolutely correct.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, once again, it was you that took the initiative on this. And I just can't emphasize strongly enough that I appreciate you being willing to do it. All of us need to eventually come together to solve this thing, but I appreciate your leadership in taking the right step in natural resources. I yield back.
Gentlemen's time's expired.